What's up everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about the Sprinter van, where I'm at with converting this thing into an RV, and some of the problems that I'm having with this DEF system. Let's get into it. So rewind to a few weeks ago, I was driving around and the check engine light came on again, which is usually related to my NOx sensors, which I've had checked out by this company down here in Jacksonville, which is called Spec, and they told me it was just a faulty sensor. They put it back together, everything was fine. And they said if it just the light comes back on, just plug in your little OBD device and reset the error. So I've been doing that, but recently the check engine light had been sticking. So shortly after that, I started getting the start counter on the Sprinter, which limits you how many times you turn the ignition on. I was winding it down. I was down to 5 when I took it back to Eurospec, the maintenance shop here in Jacksonville that I've been using. They basically tell me I need to swap out my whole DEF tank, which is $3,500, and he said once they do that, there might be more issues, which could be even more costly. That sucked. So I get back, I told him, you know what, let me pick it up for the weekend, let me figure out what I want to do, search online to see if I want to DEF delete, which is obviously something you don't really want to mess with, but I'm not able to just cough up $3,500 right now for this. Anyway, I take it back, I do a lot of research, and I start finding out that a lot of people had the DEF system still covered by Mercedes up to 100,000 miles on some Sprinters. So, you know, I thought, why don't I just take it in? I'll pay however much, 200 bucks to get a diagnostic test, and just see what they say. And maybe it's covered, maybe everything will be covered and it's fine. They end up coming back, and they basically just told me that the NOx sensors are the only issues. The nitrous oxide, I believe, sensors were the only issues, which was $1,700. So we're getting somewhere. That's half of the costs. You know, and I try to argue with them, or not argue, I try to negotiate with them to see if they can get me a better deal. If there's any discounts, I talked to their manager, no discounts, no nothing. You know, explaining my situation. I just bought this van less than a year ago. You know, I've already replaced the EGR valve, which was about $800. Now the nitrous oxide sensors, it was just getting too much, but unfortunately, they told me there was nothing they can do as far as a discount. Doing more research, I found out that you can talk to a local Mercedes Benz rep. They work for MB USA. So if you just go to the website, you can contact somebody. They'll ask you some information, and then a local rep will call you. And I spoke to the local rep, really nice lady. She's from Atlanta, I believe. And unfortunately, she also was not able to do anything because I was over the mileage for the warranty as well as the year. So super nice though, you know, we talked about it. She kind of gave me the situation, which I totally understand. They can't just give discounts to everybody, and it was kind of based on a loyalty factor. So, you know, if I would have bought 5 Sprinters in the last couple years, they probably would have been able to help me a little bit, but because I don't have any history here at the Jacksonville Mercedes Benz, they're not able to provide any kind of discounts or help with that. So I get it. The only issue was they also mentioned that after they install the NOx valves, their NOx sensors, there might be the catalyst might also need to be replaced, which is $2,100. So we get through all this. I finally tell them, let's just do the NOx sensors and see if, you know, if you need to do the catalyst, just call me. At least, you know, I don't know, I can at least have a couple minutes to save that money. But we ended up getting it done, $1,700. Just replaced both NOx sensors. And in the end, I was able to still get a discount. The maintenance rep I was working with there, they basically said, I know you didn't get any discounts from my manager or the Mercedes Benz USA, but I was able to find something and get you $200 off of this. So huge shout out to Mercedes Benz of Jacksonville here in Florida. You know, hooked it up, even though they weren't able to help me all the way. They helped me. And you know what? It wasn't replacing a DEF tank, which makes me really skeptical on why this local company was trying to get me to replace my complete DEF system. It kind of worrisome. The funny thing is too, right when I brought it into this local shop before I went to Mercedes, they were there the van was there for 3 days. They were telling me they're still working on it. They're still working, trying to get a full diagnosis, which was really sketchy to me. If they said the mechanic has been under the van the entire time trying to figure something out. If that was the case, you know, they would have charged me thousands of dollars for this mechanic's time. I think they were just so busy. Maybe they didn't have time to look at it. I don't know what. But once they looked at it, the rep called me and he basically said that somebody tried to route the sink in the Sprinter to the DEF system, to the DEF tank. He told me that on the phone, and I'm the one who installed the sink. The sink's right here, right in front of the door, which the DEF system tank is underneath the van. I get that. But my water is right here in these jugs. Nothing goes to the bottom of the van. There is no connection to the bottom of the van. It's just impossible. So when he told me that, he said the mechanic said somebody was doing all this kind of stuff, trying to route the sink to this. I said, literally, this is impossible. I'm the one who installed the sink, and the jugs are in the van. Like, there's no possible way that that's a thing. And he's like, all right, well, let me talk to him again and see. And then they called me a couple hours later and were like, hey, we need to replace the whole system, $3,500. So I was really sketched out, and that's when I went to Mercedes and I just had them take a look. So if you can learn one thing from me, go to Mercedes Benz first, at least have them take a look at it. If you want to get a second opinion, that's fine. Or if you even go to a local shop, still get a second opinion from Mercedes. They're the ones who built this van. They're the ones who know it. And if something's gonna go wrong, they'll be the ones to fix it. And you know what? Sometimes they'll be able to help you out. Again, if you take that little trick of calling Mercedes-Benz USA and speaking to a local rep, explaining a situation, it's a little more of a personal touch that you'll be able to connect to someone, see if there's anything that they can do to help. So make sure to do that. But let's get into the van updates and see where I've been and everything I've done so far. This table here in the middle, which is on a swivel, it can kind of move out of the way, and then you can walk freely to the back of the van. There's a company out there that makes this device here that you can just put the table up, clip it in, clip it out, swivel it over, but they're like $200 to $300. And I found somebody on YouTube who actually makes this out of metal piping. Super easy. I'll put his link in the description below. Check it out. Super easy way to do it. I just need to find a better topper. This table is, I don't know what kind of wood I used here, but it's not the greatest. It's kind of just breaking and chipping. And then, as most Sprinter vans, to maximize space, so you have the two benches, and with the table, you can take the table out, and this also drops down to make a full-size king bed. So let me show you how to do that and what it looks like. It's so hot out right now, can't stand it in here. So yeah, that's the bed. And then on the opposite side of the door, when you walk in, I have this long cabinet with two drawers that Shane from Rustic Standard helped me design. Thank you, Shane. And a little cubby down here where I'm gonna put a fridge / cooler on a little rollout tray. And of course the Goal Zero Yeti 1400, which is hooked up to my two 100-watt solar panels on the roof. All the ceiling panels are made out of cedar, probably the most expensive part of the van. It smells incredible in here. I have not stained it or sealed it, so that's probably on the horizon. And along with just kind of finishing these trim pieces to hide all these wires, cover up this insulation in some spaces, figure out what to do with this window. We got the Maxx Air Fan right here, which is on a switch panel right up here when you walk in, which has the lights, doop, doop, and the fan on the switch. Also on this panel down here is the Espar D2 diesel heater, which is hooked up here underneath the front passenger seat. One of the best things I installed. Pricey, but when you go to Colorado and you go snowboarding out there, that's crucial. I'm still trying to figure out what to do on this wall. I kind of want to do a backsplash of some sort in front of this, because this is kind of the cooking area. Also where I'm going to lay out all my camera gear for all the trips I'm bound to go on with this thing. Still haven't really been able to put it to use because building takes a lot longer than you think, and maintenance issues, service, engine, all that kind of stuff, it costs you. So anyway, that's the main Also, this sink is on a little hand pump. It's not filled up right now, so there's nothing here but a noise. But yeah, you just pump and you get some water. I was thinking about hooking up an electrical water pump, but it's not like I'm living in this thing full time. This is perfect for what I need it for. Could be the majority of it. Also, obviously finish up these style doors on this side. Just haven't had time with Shane. But once we get that done, everything will be complete. And this thing will be one of the best adventure mobiles. Gonna take the cafe racer all over the country. I'm gonna take the Gnu and go fishing all over the country. This is gonna be incredible. We're gonna make this happen, and thank you to you guys for your support. As you can see me sweating up a storm in here. But yeah, thank you guys so much for your support. Let me know what you want to see. If you have any suggestions for the van, anything. Thank you so much for watching. You guys are awesome. Peace.